Intention is when you choose to focus your desire into its fulfillment rather than it just being something that you wish for. Difference between obviously full desire and just wishful thinking and hoping for the best. But yeah, use whatever words that work for you. But I do feel that it is, when you think of relationship with creation, it is our being in that place of oneness, peace, rest that will bring and set creation free. Because it says, Romans 8, creation is longing, waiting for the revealing of the sons of God. And that's what is being revealed, our light, who we are, our identity, that place where we are living in it, resting in it, and being one in it. And everything about life is trying to get us out of that place by getting us to do. But in reality, you can be totally busy from a worldly perspective, but completely at rest from a spiritual perspective, because your still state of being is still in that place of intimacy. You can dwell in the light. Think of you going into the light and coming out and having a wonderful experience. Think about not leaving it, staying there in the spirit and dwelling in the light of his presence and living from that continual flow, which is coming out of his face as you're face to face with him. Therefore, life then, becomes an expression of our intimacy with the Father. And that just transpires in every single state of our being. And therefore, time, in terms of time miracles and everything else, it comes out of the same thing. You focus your desire to be able to do everything that he's called you to do, and therefore be able to expand and contract time to work with you, not against you. Because time is for you, not against you. You can cooperate with time in that positive sense to enable you to fulfill everything.
That's good.
Place of rest. Otherwise, you're just, I got to fit this in, got to fit that in. How am I going to do this? I can't do that. I've not got enough hours in the day. And all of the things that will go round and round that would cause us essentially not to be able to do everything we would desire to do or everything God wants us to do, to realizing, no, I can choose to be able to do all that God's called me to do. And if that means expanding some time in it, then I can do it. And sometimes that can be a very cognitive thing. And sometimes it just happens and you feel that I have already engaged in something and I don't really remember ever doing it, because it's because it's the being rather than the doing. And every moment contains every moment. So one moment of time contains all the possibilities within that moment. And therefore I've lived 3 months before in a moment of time and contracted back and remembered it. But on other occasions, I've lived in that moment and I've known that something has been accomplished, but I couldn't remember what I did. I didn't need to, and sometimes we learn, we sense and feel more has happened than I can remember actually doing. When I've sort of had expanded time, I couldn't remember the hours. I just accomplished within the time that I thought I had more than what was possible to accomplish within it. It wasn't as if, I had 8 hours extra. It was almost like, well, no, that was half an hour, but look what I accomplished in that half an hour beyond what was actually possible to do in half an hour. And so I was aware of the result without necessarily being aware of the process, which actually is okay. It was all good. You don't always need to be aware of the process.